You walk through your front door, drop your keys, and finally exhale. A deep, heavy breath you didn't even realize you were holding. You just came back from a date, or maybe a weekend with your partner. By all metrics, it went well. They smiled, they laughed, they seemed interested. But as you stand there in the quiet of your own home, you don't feel connected. You just feel exhausted, like you just finished a 3-hour exam or performed in a play. You wonder why love feels so difficult for you, why it feels like a heavy armor you have to carry rather than a fire that keeps you warm. You might think you're just bad at relationships, but you aren't. Let's look at what is actually happening when you are with someone. Pay attention to the subtle, invisible calculations your mind makes. Before you speak, you run your words through a rapid internal filter. Will they think this is funny? Is this too intense? Am I sounding needy? You read their micro-expressions. A slight shift in their gaze, a brief pause before they reply, and your nervous system instantly goes on high alert. You adapt. You become a chameleon. If they are intellectual, you become a philosopher. If they are playful, you become the entertainer. If they are distant, you become the cool partner, the one who needs nothing. You are constantly reading the emotional weather of the room and altering your personality to survive it. This isn't love, it is impression management, and it is a deeply lonely way to live. Because even when they look at you and say, "I love you," a quiet, cynical voice in the back of your mind whispers, "No, you don't. You love the character I am playing." You hide your true self, your messy, contradictory, uncertain self, behind a polished facade. You trade authenticity. If this lived experience feels familiar to you, it is crucial that you understand something right now. You are not broken. You are not fundamentally flawed, unlovable, or destined to be alone. And you are not doing this because you are manipulative. You are doing this because, at some point in your early life, your brain learned that being your unfiltered self was dangerous. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, where affection was a reward for being good, quiet, or successful. Or perhaps you experienced early rejections that taught you a brutal, silent lesson. Who I am, naturally, is not enough. So your mind did what it was perfectly designed to do. It adapted, it built a defense mechanism. Your performance is not a character flaw, it is a brilliant survival strategy. It is your brain's deeply intelligent, desperate attempt to keep you safe from the unbearable pain of rejection. To understand why you can't just turn it off, we have to look under the hood of your neurobiology. In the mid-20th century, psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott introduced the concept of the true self and the false self. The true self is spontaneous. It feels its feelings. It acts from a place of genuine desire. The false self is a defensive facade, built to comply with external expectations and protect the fragile true self from harm. When you operate from the false self in relationships, your brain is actively treating intimacy as a threat. Deep in your brain, a region called the anterior cingulate cortex processes both physical pain and social rejection. To your brain, a broken heart and a broken arm register on the exact same alarm system. When you enter a romantic dynamic, your nervous system experiences neuroception, a subconscious scanning of the environment for safety or danger. Because your past taught you that your natural self risks rejection, your amygdala sounds the alarm. To soothe this anxiety, you begin to perform, and here is the psychological trap. When you perform well and the other person approves of you, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. A quick, sharp reward. I am safe, they like me. But dopamine is fleeting. It is the chemical of pursuit and short-term survival. What you actually crave in a relationship is oxytocin and serotonin, the neurochemicals of deep, secure, long-term bonding. But your brain will never release those deep bonding chemicals to the false self. Because deep down, your nervous system knows the truth. The person sitting across from you isn't connecting with you. They are connecting with your avatar. Imagine you are dying of thirst and someone hands you a glass of water. But you are wearing a mask. You pour the water over the mask gets wet. But you are still dying of thirst. That is what it feels like to receive love for a performance. So how do we take off the mask? How do we stop treating love like an endless audition? It requires retraining your nervous system to tolerate the vulnerability of being seen. Here are 4 psychological steps to help you step off the stage. Step 1, catch the shift. Before you can change the behavior, you must map the physical markers of your performance. Your body knows when you are acting long before your conscious mind does. Notice the somatic shift when you enter performance mode. Does your voice pitch slightly higher? Does your breathing become shallow? Do you feel a sudden tightness in your stomach? This is your sympathetic nervous system activating. When you feel this shift on a date, do not judge it. Just quietly name it to yourself. I am performing right now. The actor has taken the stage. Step 2. Drop the microscripts. Much of performance identity relies on cognitive rehearsal. You pre-plan your stories. You calculate your responses to ensure you sound smart or funny or completely unbothered. Your brain is acting as a director, feeding you lines. Your next task is a behavioral experiment. Speak without the script. Allow a conversation to have a few seconds of awkward silence. When they ask you a question, resist the urge to give the perfect answer. Give the true answer. Even if it is simply, "I don't know," or "I'm still figuring that out." Authenticity lives in the unscripted spaces. Step 3. Embrace cognitive diffusion. When you drop the mask, your brain will flood you with catastrophic thoughts. If I'm quiet, they'll think I'm boring. If I show my flaws, they will leave. In acceptance and commitment therapy, there is a practice called cognitive diffusion. It teaches us that thoughts are just transient neural events. They are not facts. When the fear arises, create linguistic distance. Instead of thinking, "they are going to leave me," reframe it as, "I am having the thought that they are going to leave me." This simple shift separates your identity from your anxiety. It reminds your brain that you are the observer of the fear, not the subject of it. Step 4. Tolerate the void. When you stop performing, there will be moments where you feel like you are offering nothing. You aren't entertaining them. You aren't solving their problems. You aren't dazzling them. You are just existing. This will feel terrifying to a brain that equates worth with utility. You must learn to tolerate this void. You have to sit in the quiet discomfort of just being and watch as the world does not end. Watch as the other person stays. This is how you teach your nervous system that you have intrinsic value, completely divorced from your ability to entertain. To bring this all together, consider a simple mental model: the curated gallery versus the living room. Right now, you are treating your inner world like an art gallery. You carefully select which pieces of your personality are on display. You arrange the lighting perfectly. You stand at the door, hoping the visitors are impressed, hoping they don't look in the dusty storage closet in the back. It is beautiful, but it is sterile. You cannot live in a gallery, and no one can truly live there with you. You need to transform your relational space into a living room. A living room is messy. There are scuff marks on the floor. There might be a book left open on the couch. But a living room is where you can take off your shoes. It is where you can rest. When you invite someone into a living room, you aren't asking them to admire you. You are asking them to sit with you. You have spent so much of your life working tirelessly to be loved. You have memorized the lines. You have hit your marks. You have played the perfect part, but you are exhausted, and you deserve to rest. You don't need to be better at love. You just need to realize that real love does not require an audition. The right person won't fall in love with your performance. they will fall in love with the quiet, uncertain, beautiful reality of the person sitting behind the curtain. It is time to let the curtain fall. It is time to step off the stage.